Ifeoma crashed into the village square barefoot, clutching her swollen stomach as rain whipped against her face. "She is here," she screamed. "Please make her leave me alone." Doors flew open. Sleeping villagers stumbled outside holding lanterns. Her wrapper hung loose around her trembling body. Mud covered her legs. Her eyes looked wild, unfocused. Old Mama Urena grabbed her shoulders. "Who is here?" Ifeoma shook violently. "She followed me from the river." Thunder cracked above Umude village. Before anyone could ask another question, Ifeoma let out a sharp cry and collapsed onto the wet earth. And that was the night the village finally understood that some crimes never stay buried. 2 years earlier, nothing in Umude suggested tragedy. Nkiru and Ifeoma were known as the daughters of one heart. Where one walked, the other followed. At dawn they fetched water together from Moonwater River. At dusk they roasted corn beside Nkiru's mother's hut. Even their laughter sounded alike. "You will leave me one day and marry some rich man," Ifeoma often teased. Nkiru laughed and nudged her. "And leave you alone? Never." "Promise." "I promise." Those words made Ifeoma smile. But sometimes smiles hid dangerous things. People loved Nkiru, not because she sought attention. She was simply difficult to dislike. She helped elderly women carry firewood. She shared food even when hers was little. And her beauty drew admiration she never asked for. "Nkiru has a face blessed by heaven," women said at the market. "Her husband will be fortunate." Ifeoma usually laughed with them. Yet every praise felt like a tiny thorn. What about her? Was she invisible? She buried those thoughts and carried on. Then Tari returned. The whole village heard before they saw him. He came back for his father's burial after years in the city. People gathered near the compound whispering, "The elder's son is home." They say he trades across many towns. He has become a real man. Nkiru and Ifeoma stood near the crowd watching. Tari stepped down from a cart wearing simple clothes dusted from travel. He was not flashy, but something about him carried quiet confidence. His eyes swept across the mourners until they landed briefly on Nkiru. Ifeoma noticed it. And she noticed something else. Nkiru quickly looked away. Later that evening while helping prepare food for mourners, Nkiru nearly dropped a clay bowl when someone reached beside her. "Careful," Tari said gently. She looked up. "I did not see you." "I can tell." He smiled. "I remember you." Nkiru blinked. "You do. You used to race boys near Moonwater River." She laughed. "And I usually won." "You still sound proud." "I am." Their laughter came easily. Too easily. From a distance, Ifeoma watched them. Something tightened inside her chest. That night she lay awake inside her hut listening to insects outside. Why was she thinking about him? The thought irritated her. Still, she slept with his smile in her mind. Days passed. The burial ended. Yet Tari remained. He began helping his late father's workers settle debts and repair damaged farmland. And somehow, he always found reasons to cross paths with Nkiru. At the market. Near the farms. Along Moonwater River. One afternoon he approached while Nkiru and Ifeoma washed vegetables. "I brought cola," he said. Nkiru smiled. "You came only to share cola?" "No." He sat nearby. "I came because work feels lighter when I hear your voice." Nkiru nearly dropped the bowl. Ifeoma forced a laugh. "You speak boldly." Tari looked at both women politely. Life is short. Why hide truth? He shared cola with them. But as conversation flowed, his attention remained fixed on Nkiru. Ifeoma noticed every glance, every smile, every softened tone. And jealousy, once small, quietly opened its eyes. Still, she told herself she imagined it. Until one evening. The three sat beneath a mango tree. Tari handed wrapped cloth to both women. A gift. Nkiru unfolded hers. Beautiful blue fabric. Ifeoma received red. She smiled. "Thank you." But then Tari spoke. "Nkiru, I chose yours myself." The words were harmless. Yet they struck like a slap. Ifeoma looked down. So he had chosen carefully for Nkiru. And hers? An afterthought? That night she stared at the red cloth inside her hut. Something bitter stirred. The next morning she visited Nkiru. Her friend hummed while arranging flowers. You look happy, Ifeoma said. Nkiru smiled shyly. Doi. You like him? Nkiru hesitated. I do not know. Do not lie to me. Nkiru sat beside her. Ifeoma, when he speaks to me, I feel peaceful. Peaceful. Yes. And if he asks to marry you? Nkiru laughed nervously. That is impossible. Answer me. Nkiru lowered her eyes. I would say yes. Something invisible cracked inside Ifeoma. She forced a smile. I pray your happiness comes. But when she left the compound, her smile disappeared. From that day, her thoughts changed. She watched Tari constantly, and she began seeing things differently. When he greeted Nkiru first, it hurt. When villagers praised their growing closeness, it hurt. When women whispered that marriage might soon come, it hurt worse. One afternoon, Ifeoma confronted Tari near the farms. You visit Nkiru often. He nodded. Ido. You care for her. His expression softened. Ido. The answer burned. Ifeoma swallowed. And if another woman cared for you? He looked surprised. I would not deceive her. What if she loved you deeply? I would still tell truth. Silence stretched. Then Tari added gently, my heart already belongs somewhere. The words pierced her pride. She smiled weakly. I understand. But she did not. That evening, rain gathered above Umude. And inside Ifeoma, jealousy finally stopped whispering. It began to speak. Rain pounded Umude that night while Ifeoma sat alone inside her hut. The red cloth Tari had gifted her lay folded beside the mat. She stared at it with hard eyes. My heart already belongs somewhere. His voice would not leave her. She pressed her palms against her ears. Then why did you smile at me? She muttered bitterly. Why did you sit with us? Why did you make me hope? But deep down she knew the truth. Tari had never promised her anything. The anger she carried had nowhere to go. So it searched for a target. And it found Nkiru. Days later, the entire village gathered for a festival near the market square. Drums sounded. Children danced. Palm wine flowed. Then Tari stood before everyone. The noise slowly faded. He held Nkiru's hand. Her face already trembled with surprise. I have traveled to many places, Tari said loudly. But peace never followed me until I returned home. People listened closely. He turned toward Nkiru. You have shown kindness to my family and warmth to my heart. Nkiru, will you marry me? Gasps erupted. Women covered their mouths. Nkiru burst into tears. Tari continued. If you agree, I will honor you before this village and take you wherever life blesses us. The crowd exploded with joy. Nkiru nodded through tears. Yes. Cheers shook the square. But inside Ifeoma, something dark finally broke loose. She stood frozen while people danced around her. Their laughter sounded distant. Nkiru rushed toward her. Ifeoma. She embraced her tightly. Did you hear? Did you hear what happened? Ifeoma forced a smile. I heard. I cannot believe this. You should be happy. I am happy. But Ifeoma's body felt cold. That evening she sat outside her hut staring at darkness. Memories flooded her mind. People praising Nkiru, choosing Nkiru, celebrating Nkiru. She clenched her jaw. All my life, she whispered. It has always been her. The next morning Nkiru visited her carrying food. You did not come after the celebration. I was tired. Nkiru sat beside her. You are angry. No. Then look at me. Ifeoma looked away. Nkiru sighed. You are my sister. Tell me. Something sharp entered Ifeoma's voice. Do you know what it feels like when people never see you? Nkiru frowned. What do you mean? You walk through this village and blessings chase you. That is not true. You have beauty, praise. Now marriage too. Nkiru held her hand. Ifeoma. Sometimes I wonder if heaven remembers other people exist. Nkiru looked hurt. I never wanted you to feel lesser than me. Yet I do. Silence settled. Then Nkiru spoke softly. You are my family. Nothing will change that. Those words should have comforted her. Instead they felt insulting. Pity. That was what she heard. Pity. 3 mornings later, Ifeoma suggested they visit Moonwater River. Like old times. Nkiru smiled immediately. I was waiting for you to ask. The path felt familiar. Birds chirped overhead. Water moved calmly between reeds. They laughed at first. Remembered childhood races. But Ifeoma's smile kept fading. Nkiru noticed. What troubles you? Ifeoma dropped her water pot. You stole him. Nkiru blinked. What? You heard me. Nkiru stared in disbelief. Ifeoma. You knew I cared about him. You never said that. You should have known. Nkiru stepped closer. He never loved you. The words escaped before she could soften them. And they struck like fire. Ifeoma's face hardened. So you admit it? No, listen to me. All you ever do is take. That is unfair. Unfair. Ifeoma shouted. Since childhood I stood beside you while people worshipped you. Nkiru looked shaken. This is not you. You think I enjoy watching you win again and again? Nobody is competing with you. You are. The river moved quietly beside them. Nkiru reached for her. We can talk. But rage had already blinded Ifeoma. Her eyes landed on a thick firewood branch lying nearby. Something inside her whispered. Take it. End this pain. She grabbed it. Nkiru stepped back. Ifeoma. You took what belonged to me. No. The branch swung. A sickening crack split the air. Nkiru collapsed. Everything became silent. Ifeoma froze. The branch slipped from her fingers. Nkiru. Blood touched the earth. Her body did not move. Fear exploded inside Ifeoma. No, no. She knelt beside her. Nkiru, wake up. Nothing. Panic swallowed reason. Hands shaking violently, she dragged the body toward loose soil near the reeds. She cried while digging. I am sorry. I am sorry. But fear worked faster than guilt. Soon the grave covered the truth. And Moonwater River watched quietly. By evening, the village noticed Nkiru missing. Searches began immediately. Tari slept. He walked through forests carrying lanterns. Nkiru, he shouted endlessly. Days became weeks. No answer. No body. Only questions. And Ifeoma performed grief beautifully. She cried beside Nkiru's mother, cooked for Tari, held his hands. One night he sat outside exhausted. I failed her, he whispered. Ifeoma sat beside him. No. I should have protected her. You loved her. His eyes filled with tears. I still hear her voice. Ifeoma gently touched his shoulder. You cannot destroy yourself. Months passed. Pain softened into emptiness. And loneliness created dangerous openings. One rainy night Tari drank heavily. I do not understand why she vanished, he said. Ifeoma sat near him. Some wounds never explain themselves. He looked broken. I am tired. Without thinking, he leaned against her. And she did not pull away. Their closeness grew slowly afterward. Not from love. From weakness. And eventually, Ifeoma became pregnant. The village whispered. Some approved. Others frowned. But peace never came. Months passed. Then more months. No child. Healers visited. Nothing. A year passed. Her stomach remained swollen. Fear spread. At night she heard dripping water inside dry rooms. Sometimes muddy footprints appeared near her mat. And dreams tormented her. Nkiru stood beside Moonwater River soaked and silent. Why did you leave me there? She asked. Ifeoma woke screaming. The second year became unbearable. She stopped sleeping. Stopped smiling. Then came the anniversary gathering. Villagers assembled to remember Nkiru. Tari stood quietly near the crowd. Suddenly Ifeoma staggered into the square clutching her stomach. Her eyes looked terrified. She is here. People stepped back. Mama Urena held her. Ooh. Ifeoma pointed toward darkness. The square fell silent. She stands near the river. She has been calling me. Fear and guilt finally shattered her.
Please forgive
She screamed
me.
through tears. I killed her. Gasps erupted. That froze. Ifeoma collapsed sobbing. I struck her. I buried her. I buried my friend. Tari staggered backward like a man stabbed. No. I was jealous, she cried. I wanted your life, your love, forgive me. Before anyone spoke, violent labor seized her. She screamed. Women rushed to help. The village watched in horror. Then the impossible happened. No baby cried. Instead, sand spilled onto the cloth. Leaves. River stones. Women shrieked. Ifeoma stared at them with wide eyes. Then she began laughing. Wild, broken laughter. Moments later, laughter turned to tears. Her mind had shattered. By dawn, villagers uncovered Nkiru's remains near Moonwater River. She finally received the burial she deserved. Tari never recovered from the truth. 3 days later, he left Umude without farewell. And Ifeoma? She wandered barefoot near the river speaking to shadows. Some nights villagers still heard her whispering, "I am sorry, please stop following me." If this story touched you, share your thoughts below. Could jealousy ever push someone this far? Don't forget to like this story and subscribe for more powerful tales. Because in Umude, people learned a lesson they would never forget. Earth may hide a body, but guilt always finds its way home.